What's going on, guys? This week we have an even further drop in the discounts as well as the income. It takes us down to this level that is the ultimate low that it seems like Rockstar will give discounts at. You can see this line here, which shows the lowest points over the last several months, and that this is the lowest that it does go, which means that next week we should see a lot of things on sale because it has nowhere to go but up. So likely we're going to see some discounts in this range. This seems to be a pretty common area. It's possible we could go a little bit higher than that, although it is less frequent. You can see earlier in the year that it does hit these levels, but it is less often. So we'll see what happens next time, but we can be sure that it's going to go up from what it is now. Now, I was a little bit surprised to see the things on sale this week that we're seeing. Like, we have the arcades on sale once again, and you look earlier in the year and there's just like months upon months between the sales, and we had maybe a couple weeks there between this one and the last. Same thing goes for the facility. It's only been maybe a month and a half or so since it was on sale, and then earlier in the year it was months upon months in between the sales. So I have to wonder, why are we seeing these more frequently? Especially when you look at the bunker, and it's been months since we had one, and earlier in the year it was a little bit more frequent, but still a pretty similar trend to what we're seeing now. So it's like the bunker is definitely one of the things that's due. Another thing that is due is the CEO offices and the customization. It's been several months since the last one, and it's another one of the things that was happening a lot more frequently earlier in the year. There was a larger gap in the beginning of the year that's similar to the one that we're seeing now, but either way, that one's looking like it should be due within the next week or two. And same thing goes for the hangars. It's been months now, and that's a little bit longer than the trend that we have been seeing, so it seems like this is definitely something that should be happening soon. It happened a little more often early in the year, but it's definitely due. And then finally, the RC Bandito has been just forever since we've seen that on sale. So it's probably going to be happening soon because it's exceeded even the longest trend that we've seen this year. Another thing that's similar to that is the Akula. It was August when we saw that on sale last, and it's exceeding the trend as well. So that should be coming up soon. And then for some verification, at least on the hangars, you can see that the air freight sales have been quite a while since we've seen these as well. And usually you get the air freight sales along with the discounted hangars. So that kind of confirms that that is going to be happening soon as well. Arena Wars is another thing that is due. The workshop should be on sale along with this, and you can see it's been quite a while since the double money on the Arena Wars has happened. Same thing goes for the bunker. As we know, the bunker itself has been a while since we've seen it on sale, and same goes for the double money. So all of these things are trending towards any one of these happening in the near future. Same thing goes on special cargo warehouse sales. We should be seeing double money on that soon because the large warehouses were on sale just, I think, 2 weeks ago now. And usually they give you the double money soon after that. Usually the very first week, but that's not what we're seeing. And then finally, the double VIP money. Earlier in the year, it was happening a lot more frequently. And then the gap started to get a lot bigger. And the gap that we're currently on is right along with the trend. It seems like it should be happening now or anytime in the next couple of weeks. And then especially since we know that our discounts are going to go up, that would mean that sometimes we'll see a rise in the income as well. So moving on to the discounts, this week we have the Locust, which is on sale, as well as the SC1, the Komoda, X80 Proto, and then if you have a Twitch Prime account, the Krieger is on sale, as well as the Tesseract. Then if you can get down to the casino, the Sterling GT is the podium car. It's typically $975,000. So if that's something you want, then get down there and get it. And then next up, we have the homes and garages. Now, every single one of these things is on sale, so now is the time to buy property. Facilities are also on sale, and with the facilities, you're going to want something that's kind of in the middle of the map and doesn't really have like a difficult entryway to get to it. Some of these are cheaper than others, especially the ones up in Paleto Bay. But I don't recommend getting one up there because you'll just have to be driving so far to get to most of the things that it won't really be worth your time. I have this one right here that's in the center of the map, and the land outside of it is just perfectly like smooth leading up to it, so it's really easy to get stuff into. But the main feature of the facility is being able to launch the Doomsday Heist, which is a bit on the challenging side if you're not great with shooting. The next deal that you should absolutely try to get is the arcade. And the arcades were just on sale, so if you missed it, this is a perfect opportunity, and sort of rare based on how the trends have been going. But with these, you're going to want one of the ones that's close to the casino, so when you're scoping it out for the heist, you're really close by. Another thing is that you also kind of want it by the nightclub, since when you collect the safe money from both of the businesses, you'll be going back and forth between them frequently. So if you can see in the center of the map, I have my arcade pretty close to where my nightclub is, which makes the picking up of money a lot more efficient. Basically, the gist with the arcade is that you buy a bunch of these machines, and the machines will generate passive income for you. Some of them are actually pretty fun to play, like I especially like Cubed, but it is important to keep in mind that this isn't really amazing passive income for how much you have to spend. Basically, if you have all of the video games, it's going to give you $5,000 every 48 minutes in real life. So it shouldn't be the primary reason that you buy the arcade, but at the same time, you don't have to worry about keeping the popularity up to get that money. Now, instead, two of the biggest reasons that you're going to want to get the arcade is for the heist as well as the master control terminal. Now, from this terminal, you will be able to resupply all of the businesses that you own in the game. Like here, for example, I am resupplying the motorcycle businesses. And I can do this from here simply just by hitting this button and paying for the supplies, which once they're all upgraded, that's the quickest way, and you can still make a ton of money by doing it. You can also resupply the bunker from here as well. And then you can manage the nightclub. Now that includes boosting the popularity as well as hiring the people that you need for the certain jobs. If you have an active heist open, then you'll be able to use the weapon workshop in the arcade as well, which makes it really convenient to get ammo for the Mark II weapons. And then there is a drone station where you can fly drones anywhere across the map from this location, and a garage, yet you can park about 10 cars, I believe. Then last but certainly not least for the arcade is the planning boards for the Diamond Casino heists. Now these heists are generally pretty quick once you have all of the setups done, and the setups you can get done in a couple hours if you have a couple people. And that's sort of what making money in a heist comes down to, is if you have a good team that can make everything work without having to do a lot of restarting. Now, what might be surprising is that you can make more money on the races this week. This is the location of the Vespucci Canals RC Bandito race, and this is the Maze Bank Arena Land race. Now, both of these are triple money, so you can make a lot in just a little bit of time. So, I'll give you a walkthrough. This is the Bandito race, and it will kind of be a little tricky when you first start out, because sometimes there's a lot of people in the way, and there's tight corners involved, so sometimes it's just a matter of the timing of when you start the race. But once you make that corner, it's a straight stretch down this road until you get into here, and you go around this building, and you're going to make a sharp left kind of out of here, which is really tricky because you have that drop off, so you want to make sure you're not turning too much either. And then sometimes I hop over this right here, but this time I jumped over it, and it kind of just depends on how squared up you are before you get to it. You can cut this corner somewhat, and then you want to stay on the right side and square up with the curb before you hit it. Then you go straight down this alleyway, and I mean straight. Like, it looks like it's going to turn, and it doesn't for quite a while. So once you get to the end, it's going to be really tight through here, and look how slow I can go through there, and I still make it in time. Same with up here, I slow down pretty nicely. That's pretty slow. And once you get through there, it's just going to be straight down this way, and you're going to hop over this bridge. And you just do this so it minimizes the amount of time that you're in the air, because sometimes you can land on the back side of it and then it's like you hardly took off. This area is tricky because of it changes to pavement and dirt, and there's bumps and free routes, so definitely go pretty carefully through there. Coming out into traffic here can be bad. It's one of those timing things too. This one wasn't too bad. And then once you get through there, it's just a right and you're there. And that's $300,000. So for the land race, this is the GPS location that you'll go to. It's just on the north side of the city. It's pretty much a straight shot there. The most confusing part is at the beginning. You can get out of this arena by going through this way, and then you cut through this trail here and try to stay to the right, or however you can get through there. After that, it's pretty much just going to be driving straight through the city. You want to be careful once you get up into this area because the roads are a little bit more windy and the traffic seems to pick up. But you don't need to rush too badly through here. Then once you get up the road, you make sure you go across the intersection and straight into the Coliseum, and the finish is right there. Another $300,000. While the races are going to be the best way that you can make money, well, at least once, another way you can do it is by going into the start menu, into the Rockstar created jobs, and then scroll down to stunt races, and then just go up, and you'll go into the transform races. Now, if you can get into one of these races, they'll be triple money, and they pay reasonably as long as there's people in there, but sometimes it's kind of hard to meet up with anybody. Now, to wrap it up, I'll say that I had a hard time picking a car of the week, but I ended up going with the Ocelot Locust. This isn't a supercar, it's just a sports car, so it's not going to be the fastest one that you can get. Now, this car does have pretty snappy handling, which can be fun, and that's the primary reason I picked it, is it's a fun car. It's probably not going to win that many races for you, but it's a car that I don't really see driving around in the lobbies all that often, so it's kind of unique. You'll be able to see a little bit of the handling characteristics in this area as it's pretty tight. And then after I was recovering here, it kind of got a little bit squirrely, so you can see what I mean by snappy. If you have Twitch Prime, I would recommend the Krieger over this, but I didn't want to put a paywall between anyone and this week's discounts. So that's going to wrap it up. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and don't forget that we have DLC coming out on the 15th, so that's going to be exciting. Make sure you get those races done and keep stacking that cash because there's only a couple days left. And with that, I will see you next time.